Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm back again to make another video. Um, excuse me. I'm already starting off yawning. That should tell you. That's proof that I'm getting old than a motherfucker. I turned 39 in 2 months, and bro, I feel it. Like, for all those who said that 40 is the new 20, that's some bullshit. Cause I'm willing to submit that 40 is the new 60, if not, or at the very least 50. Cause at the end of the day, bro, that's how I feel, bro. Like just an old ass man. So I don't know where folks got that whole notion about 40 being the new 20. Like hell nah. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, I guess you can say I'm here to talk about the recent quote unquote incel who this 35-year-old Brad who's basically revealed to the world that that he's never had a girlfriend, despite his best efforts, despite putting his best foot forward, if you will. And we've all been there, because we all live in this excuse me, we all live in this copper-plated society, to say the least, that holds us, each and every one of us, individualistically, I may add, to some of the silliest standards that it literally makes you question. It makes you question the quantum of reality. Or at least it does if you're a thinker like me. I don't know. Because before I get started, let me share on my most recent experience. And I hope I don't labor too long, because I've been kind of ranting and raving about what happened to me a couple of days ago. Now, granted, it's September 14th, so having said that, it's still summer. Having said that, it's still pretty warm. I wouldn't say necessarily hot, not by the standards where I'm from originally, but it's pretty damn warm. And I'm glad to say that fall officially starts. Fall solstice officially starts. Autumn solstice officially starts 5-6 days from now. Bro, I was dead in the middle of summer, tired of summer. And it's not so much that I mind being in a part of the world where it's hot. I just don't want to be in a part of the world where it's hot all year round. Like, I like my 4 seasons, and to be honest, I don't think I would mind anyway if I were in a part of the world where when it is summertime, it don't even really get hot like that. And if it does get hot like that, like at the most worst case scenario, it's probably about as hot as it is now, like, in the mid 80s. I mean, yeah, like in anywhere from the mid to high 80s, maybe even early 90s. And then after the fact, after a month or two, it just gets back to being freezing cold again. Or like at the beginning of summer, it just starts to rain, so it's summer, but it looks like spring for a short time, because that's how it is here in Colorado, where like the last 2 months of May and the whole month of June is just raining, like like it would spring. And technically it is still spring, but traditionally where I'm from, it's summer in June. Anyway, let me get back to what happened to me, right? So every year when uh, when it's about to be hot, so around like let's say around like May or June, just when the weather begins to change and it starts warming up, I basically do this thing where I come out of my proverbial sabbatical, right? And I proceed to get my hair cut. Now, mind you, the way I do it, and this is what I've been doing since I've been out here, and I don't know whether or not this is bad for my hair, because they say that you're supposed to get your hair cut at least 2 months, so that, it allows for follicles to grow. But the reality is that, I'm getting up in age, and I'm looking at men who are my age who can't grow their hair. Like because there was a guy I ran into the store just like that. And it's funny because I was looking at him and juxtaposing his situation with mine, with what I'm about to talk about. But I was looking at dude's hairline, and this ain't to pass judgment of him. This ain't to make fun of my cousin, who I haven't seen in many years. When he and my aunt came out back in the spring this year, and I was looking at their hairline, or especially my cousins, who's just not even a year older than me. He's just older than me by like a couple of months, which means he's already 39. And like I said, I'll be 39 in a couple of months. And it's allowed me, especially in a place like this where it gets cold as hell, to appreciate the fact that I can indeed grow hair still on my head, much less my my beard. So to me, it's almost like a hibernation period and a sabbatical that I come out of when when it's summertime. And sometime around like May and June, after spending 8 months not having cut my hair, just washing it and letting it grow and grow and grow, yeah, that's when I proceed to get it cut. And I get it cut fairly low, like almost down to a buzz cut or like a bald fade or something. Like it gets cut low. And like I said, as I've gotten up in age, it has allowed me to appreciate the fact that I can still grow my hair into a fro. So, and like I said, being in a place like this, because usually in the summertime I'll get 2 haircuts, but for whatever reason I chose to just get 1. So already my hair has been growing back, especially my beard. But it's been 3 months since I did have my hair cut, and as usual, my hair on my head is growing back, but there's a part where my hair is thinning, like the front part of the scalp that's been thinning. It's taking a little bit longer for that part to grow. Whereas, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say, because I'm fully aware, and it's been like that, like since at least I was 34. Well, really, it's been like that since, because even I remember back when I was 23, as early as being 23, how my mom was telling me that my hair is, she could tell that my hair is starting to fall out. That's what I mean when I say, because even back then in my early 20s, and I was talking to people about that too. And I remember my coworkers talking about me, or not talking about me, but saying how you got some folks be as like young as 26 and that nigga just bald. I'm like, damn. Like a nigga 26 years old and he already bald. Now mind you, I'm definitely knocking on 40. I practically am 40, even though, like I said, I turned 39 in a couple months. And I'm rocking a full head of hair. But there's parts of my hair, especially on my head, that takes a little bit longer to grow out. And it will grow out after, given a couple months, where it looks like I got a full head of hair. And it is a full head of hair. It's just like parts of the scalp on the top of my head that's thinning. So I've been doing that. I've been growing out, and now my beard is already fully out. And I've noticed too that it's parts of my beard too that it's kind of like dwindling and all that stuff. Kind of, I wouldn't even say thinning, but just, well, maybe I don't know. It's not a full-fledged beard, if you will, and it's not like an alopecia beard where there's just spots of baldness, or beard baldness, to say the least. But bro, I've talked to y'all about these damn Denverites, right? I've talked to y'all about how I just don't get along with these motherfuckers. And I guess seeing that I got plenty to say, I'm just going to go ahead and assume, now that we're about 11 minutes in, that half of this is going to be about what I've experienced, what I've been experiencing here, and in correlation to what this quote-unquote incel has been talking about in his 35 years of experience on this earth dealing with members of the opposite sex. And not to mention him being a Brad as well. So something happened a couple of days ago where I was on the train, right? And I'm getting on the train again. As we know, like we used to say, because I got this term from one of my ninjutsu brothers. And I say ninjutsu brothers because to me that was basically a fraternity. So like how frat boys say they're fraternity brothers, I call them my ninjutsu brothers. And he would say, when he would start off a story, he would be like, I was somewhere, something like so-and-so. And after having said that, he would say, minding my own Negro business. So that's how I'm starting this off. So I was on the train, proceeding with my things, minding my own Negro business. And I just came home. I can't say I was coming home. I was on my way home from work, getting on this train so that I can get to the next station so that I could wait on the bus. And there was this lady, right? And before I even tell y'all what she did that I found very disturbing, I don't even know why it made me feel some type of way, because it's not like she was attractive. It's not like she was wearing a suit, wearing something that suggested that she works in corporate America. And I told coworkers about it too. I was like, this bitch was wearing something that looked like she was just like she just spun the block, like she was on the blade. Her clothes didn't look any cleaner than mine. And guess what? I keep my clothes clean. I'm a very clean, unlike these Denverites, I'm a very clean person. That's part of coming from the South. Matter of fact, wash day is tomorrow, by which I wash my clothes. I may not be as clean as my grandmother, who washed clothes every single day and then had the nerve to wonder why her MLGW bill was half of $1,000. I'm like, Grandma, that's because you wash clothes every day. Like on some OCD type stuff. Yeah, because for me, tomorrow is wash day. I'm washing my clothes tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I take baths just about every day. And on the baths, on the days that I don't take baths, I take wash-ups. And I don't know if y'all know what a wash-up is, but coming from where I come from, coming from my background, my family background, when you didn't have time to, say, get in the tub or get in the shower, but you needed to just cleanse yourself, what you would do is you would get in the sink, get some water running on you, and soap, mind you. If you needed to wash your hair, you wash your hair. But the whole thing about the wash-up was, washing under your arms, rubbing your chest. Like, yeah, it was a simple, cleansing type of thing, when, you kind of short on time, but you ain't trying to just go out stinking. So let me just get to the point. So I get on the train, minding my own Negro business. And one of the locals, and I know it was a local, like I said, who ain't wearing clothes probably ain't look like they ain't been washed in 2 months. She gonna get up and walk away from where I was sitting, because it's not like I sat right next to her. No, it was like we were a few seats down from each other. But her problem was the fact that she was looking in my direction, or I was looking in hers. So she gonna pull this, and at this point, I'm thoroughly convinced it was just the Coloradans' way of greeting. It was just the way. That's just who and how these Colorado folks are. And it was nothing short of, because I was thinking about this shit too, of how I've been treated since I came out here. Because I'll admit, I have changed up my dress since I've been out here. I don't even wear jeans like that anymore. I just wear Fruit of the Looms and Hanes and type stuff. But it was nothing short of what, and I was like, hell, even back then, my first years out here, it was nothing short of the way I've been treated. So she gonna call herself throwing a hissy fit and then sitting somewhere else, basically turning her back on me. And then when I got off the train, she gonna go back to her normal spot. And yeah, I gave her a mindful too. When I got off the train, I flipped her off. I'm here to tell you, bro, that with that said, before I get on this dude's case, I've had to come to realize and just accept that's just who these people are. Because people have been grilling me since I've been out here about the way I dress, right? As if I'm supposed to just be out here wearing a suit, wearing a tie, coming from basically a hard hat working environment. These people out here have been giving me shit because of my so-called attire since I've been out here. Mind you, in a city full of hobos, in a city full of hard hats, in a city full of regular working class people. For some odd reason, when I'm dressed like I just got off work from a hard hat environment, it's a problem. It's a problem. And at this point, after everything because like I said, damn, I'm looking at this sprinkler where I was sitting. This thing done sprayed up the whole bench. And I know that because I had a paper bag, I had a drink. I had a paper bag in my drink, and this thing just sprinkled on it. It's getting ready to spray me. Damn. That's some bullshit. I'm telling you, bro, that's just again a sign of society's just complete and outright hypocrisy. Because mind you, was she wearing a dress? No. Was she in business attire? No. Did she look like a member of corporate America making, I don't know, at the very least 80 to 90K a year? No. She looked like some old regular ass prostitute herself. In fact, I'm glad that we've gotten to this point, because when I tell you these people stink, even the ones who are dressed according to the Denverite standards appropriately, even them motherfuckers, they literally stink, bro. I've seen people in business suits since I've been riding the buses on the way to work, stink. So even if they wear whatever it is that is considered appropriate by their standards, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, right? Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, these motherfuckers stink. In fact, it kind of reminded me of an incident where there was some homeless chick digging out the trash can, because that's what they do, digging out of the trash can. And bruh, when I tell you these people stink, it's not like I'm walking up to them or I'm even within a foot of distance between them. Bro, I'm damn near a meter away I'm damn near a whole British unit away from them, and I can smell they funky ass. And this has happened several times before. Yes, females. Because it's so interesting too, because now, don't get it twisted. I've run into some funky ass niggas since I've been out here. In fact, I had a coworker out here, I think I told y'all about that, who was a funky ass nigga, and it was a brother too. It was a brother, bro. Nigga was rocking B.O. And that's the thing, that's the hypocrisy that I just can't seem to figure out about these goddamn people. And at this point, I've given the fuck up. Because my thing is, hey, as long as my clothes ain't raggedy and dirty, whatever it is I'm wearing, as long as it ain't raggedy and dirty, as long as I'm brushing my teeth and washing my ass, man, fuck these folks, because they ain't even doing that. They don't do that out here. But the Denverite, for if or whatever reason, seeks to pass judgment on us, and I'm not the only one who said this. If you're thinking that this is just me saying that, you got another thing coming. You're dead wrong. Because when I first came out here, there were people from all across this country. And to this day, I run into people from all across the country. And we come together, like whether they're from Vermont, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Alabama, Kansas. You know, just to name a few of, as far as the people that I've run into from other parts of the country who are out here. And we come together and say the same thing about these Colorado folks. That they fake as fuck, phony as fuck, weird as fuck, dopey as fuck, hypocritical as fuck. goofy as fuck, racist as fuck, garbage as fuck, trifling as fuck. And we all come to the same conclusion that we can't stand them. Because who is this bitch? Because it would make so much sense if she was if she was dressed like a millionaire, like she just came back from a game, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, you're part of the upper echelon society, so no wonder I would expect a white woman like that or a woman period like that to see me as probably some hobo ass nigga just off the fact that I'm rocking the beard and the fro, or what's getting ready to be a fro, let alone my attire. As if there isn't a hard hat culture in this city, and I'm here to tell you, yes, there is. You have hard hats. You have people, and them niggas ain't no better dressed than I am. And for the life of me, the thing that I, for the life of me, cannot seem to understand is why is it that they're doing this to me, but not them, when these motherfuckers give off a stench. That to me has been the mystery ever since I've come out to this place and had to deal with these goddamn locals who've had to, and for whatever reason, they just cannot provide an answer. They cannot, and they will not. They will not because they cannot. And I mean, not to mention the fact of just how silly it would look on my part if I was dressed a certain way, wearing the dressed like I'm coming from corporate, knowing damn well I'm coming from a hard hat job, just like anybody else, who's doing construction. And at this point, bro, I've just given the fuck up. Because you would think in a society like that everybody out here just dresses clean cut and all that. And I mean, it ain't no clothing departments out here like that. It ain't. So, where this is all coming from to me is, and now that I've gotten to this point, yeah, the dude that I ran into at the store, because I just got off the phone with my father about this. There was this dude in the store, because I went into the store before I came out here, get some cheesecake and some other stuff. And ironically enough, he was there getting some too, getting the same thing that I was getting. And this dude had he practically had a goatee. He had one of those Irishman beards that extend, like grow out. My beard doesn't even grow out that far. It'd probably take years if it could grow out that far. Otherwise, it would just grow out and unkempt, because it's like I said, it's just now that my beard has started to grow off into the first layer of tackiness or unkemptness, if you will, where it's just stretched out like that, or it's expanding out. It's just started to do that, since the haircut, 3 months ago. And I'm like, I bet ain't nobody giving him this kind of bullshit that these hypocritical ass locals are giving me. And that's what I go back and see. This is exactly why. And here I am stuck with these motherfuckers. And I'm not here. And at this point, bro, if these are the same people, right, who ran off the dude from Kansas, ran off the dude from Alabama, and the dude that I ran into from from Vermont and Massachusetts, this is exactly what they are talking about. So the better question that comes to be is, yeah, the better question that's to be begged is, why am I wasting my time trying to figure these goofy motherfuckers out? When at the end of the day, it's nothing to figure out. We're talking about a bunch of goofy motherfuckers who don't even get along with themselves. So why do I even care? Why should we even care if they pass judgment on us? Look, as long as we ain't out here stinking, as long as we ain't out here wearing obvious, dirty, raggedy ass clothes, which we don't, but they do. But they do. That's the thing, man. That's the thing. But they do. And will still pass. I'm like, how dare you? Like, what kind of hypocritical projecting shit is that? Where you gonna pass judgment on me for doing the very same thing that you, again, projecting. And like I said, even when I was rocking pants, I just didn't find the practicality of pants anymore. Especially in a place like this where it gets cold as hell. So I just stopped wearing pants. I mean, not pants, jeans. Jeans. I just stopped wearing blue jeans and jeans altogether. Now, I got a pair or two of jeans. So if I'm going into a bar, right, especially downtown, yeah, I'll wear jeans there. It's just like when my folks came to visit. I put on the jeans. And plus, it was the springtime, so yeah. But bro, it is everything that I've gone through dealing with these cars. It's nothing short of what. Because every time, like I said, every time I run into somebody from another part of the country, it's like we swap stories. They have their fucked up experiences with the locals out here, and so do I. And we all seem to come to this a point of agreement. And the fact that we can, excuse me, I'm having a little indigestion. Excuse me. The fact that we can, from all across the country, north, south, east, west, the fact that we can come to a point of understanding, in agreement, that this Coloradan is all kinds of fucked up, that in and of itself tells you something about this goddamn place. And who and how these people are. And to provide example of that, as far as who and how they are, as far as if it's an us versus them type of thing, or if it's just the Coloradan just being the Coloradan, you know, the day after that happened, and I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. If you look it up, you'll run right into it. If you type it in, what recently happened, just last week, bro, there was a whole hostage / active shooter. I think the sprinklers turned back off, so I'm gonna head back to that bench. I don't know what it is about this bench where I feel safe out here. I think it was because about 2 years ago, I was in this park, and it was November, ironically enough, and I basically fucked around and ran into basically a mountain lion out here. So since then, you know, I know it's still summer, but you know, this place kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I still like to come out here, especially this time where it ain't just people and cars flying all over the goddamn place. Not to mention the hobos all over the place. So there's some degree of solace, peace, and quiet. But what was I talking about? What was I about to say? Y'all gonna have to bear with me. I've been getting kind of senile lately, so my thoughts have been all over the place. I fucked around and forgot what I was talking about. Oh man, sprinkler's still back on. Never mind. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So the day after that had happened, right? Yeah, there was a whole active shooter situation in some apartment complex in Broomfield, wherever the hell Broomfield is supposed to be. Because Broomfield, wherever Broomfield is, I know it's a part of Denver County, I know that much. But wherever part of town it's in, it's safe to assume that Broomfield isn't the hood. It's not Montbello. It's not Aurora. It's not the place where they got all the brownies gentrified, and the brownies mostly being your niggas and your Latinos. So it's not out there. Broomfield strikes me as, and nonetheless, apartment complexes all the same that are just as expensive, if not more expensive. Because, like I said, the housing market out here, I already know, is absolutely freaking ridiculous. Because I've seen all kinds of YouTube videos talking about how how our generation, basically, we're not even going to be able to afford a house. And it's clear, it's obvious that they're setting it up like that. I'm like, damn, well, with any luck, the least I can do is look up and find a small cottage of a house. Or, worst case scenario, just get a townhome. Because you don't want one of these garbage ass apartments. I talked to y'all about what's been going on in Aurora. Apartments, garbage ass apartments in Aurora. Where you paying top dollar, $2,000, and that's probably before utilities. That's probably not even including utilities. You paying top dollar for a place that's roach infested, bed bug infested, and illegal alien infested, gang infested. Come on, bro. And that's what I mean when I talk about this goofy ass place. So the day after that incident, where I ran into one of the locals and ran into their basically their language, because that was basically, because that's how they all are. And then they have the nerve, these very same people, and y'all give me a minute, I'm gonna get to dude. These are the very same people who have the nerve to wonder why the dating scene in Denver sucks. Because I'm like, well, it's obvious, because it's bitches like that that the locals have to run into. And one thing that I've noticed also since that I've been out here, and I'm gonna get to the hostage situation in a minute. One thing that I've noticed since I've been out here is that most guys, if they're not married already, they don't really prioritize dating. I've noticed that I really don't even hear them talking about, prioritizing getting with, like where we're from, like take for instance, like me being in the University of Memphis, being in the college setting, it was common talk among guys to talk about, some chick that, that he ran into, at the frat party, getting like, what I'm talking about, like college type stuff. Like, they don't do that out here. And whether or not that's a mix because of the LGBT thing they got going on here, or just the fact that the women out here are just pure trash, or all the above, I mean, is really another topic for another time. But point being, that's not the kind of that's not the kind of conversations they have out here. Like, you go to a frat party or somewhere, or these clubs where like, dude, you seen that brunette? Like, bro, I'm trying to, amongst like the frat bros, they're like, dude, you seen that like, you seen the cheeks or the tits on that brunette? I'm like, bruh, like, she was choosing me, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take care of that. You know how like dudes talk, like, at least back east, like what they got going on here it's beyond, like, bro. They don't do that out here, and that in and of itself is weird. Because it really, truth be told, it really does denote to those two things that I just said. The homosexuality that they got going on out here, that seems to be the norm, as well as the fact that the women are just trash. Just trash. Insufferable. Rude. I mean, impertinent. Disgusting. Hypocritical. Projecting. Mean, nasty, stanky. Stank attitude, stank BO. Because like I said, another thing where I lost my train of thought. Again, I'm going to get to the hostage situation. Yeah, there was this homeless hobo-ass female digging out the trash, probably looking for food to eat and whatnot. Bruh, and if I haven't said it already, she got on the train one time, and like right when she got, like, as soon as she hit the door, that's how funky her ass was, bro. And that happened this year. And yeah, I took my black ass all the way to the back, or whatever part of the other side of the train car, with these light rails and shit. I got on the whole other side of that train car to get away from that funk. So that's what I mean when I say these mofos got some nerve. They got some nerve to be out here when that's what they got going on. And I'm up here looking like I said, like a regular ass construct, like no different attire, wearing an attire no different from that of a construction worker. Even though I don't do construction, but I do hard hat work. I work in a factory. So it stands to reason, working in a factory where I'm doing some pretty stringent, hard labor, to wear, basically a white tee and some, fall style jogging pants, basically some jogging pants, versus, calling myself trying to dress to impress, especially when it gets cold than a motherfucker. And see, that has been since I've been out here in this crazy, kooky ass part of the world. That has been what I've been trying to figure out about these folks. And at this point, I've just given the fuck up. So my whole mentality is, if these motherfuckers want to take me for a hobo ass nigga, fuck it. Let them just take me for a hobo ass nigga. And I promise you I'm making way more money than them. Because you think these motherfuckers out here doing a 9 to 5 like I'm doing, pulling 40 like I'm doing, getting ready to start a business like I'm doing, getting ready to go back to school like I'm doing? Fuck no. Fuck no. We would, bro. I used to do research about Colorado long before I came out here, and they were talking about how the average Coloradan is college educated and this and that. And, it would stand to reason they'd have to be, because, like I said, it's expensive than a motherfucker to live out here. Man, I can't tell you how many folks out here barely got a high school education, if that. They got all kinds of, they got all kinds of high school programs for dropouts. They got them shits at the mall. Because obviously, education is not a priority here in Colorado. And hey, and if you don't believe me, ask Pueblo. 'Cause I wouldn't. They probably ain't even got no. If any luck, they probably got a. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was popping off shots. That's what it sounded like. See, then there's that element, the criminal element. So I mean, and I thought like, yeah, and to think that I left Memphis to get away from all that, and I was enjoying the deafening sound of not hearing gunshots. And I'm like, well, here we go again with that bullshit. So anyway, back to now that I done told y'all about that funky ass broad, bro. And yes, like I said, the women out here stink. And I noticed amongst the hobos, them niggas usually don't care. Well, yeah, I mean, and it's like I said, you go throughout the city, you hear, I mean, not hear, you smell the smell of piss, vomit, all kinds of, I mean, it's disgusting, to say the very least. And then you got to run into the locals who not only stank them, they goddamn self have a stank ass attitude for whatever issue they have with you, and too much of a chicken shit to come out and explain just exactly what that is. Because, you know, all throughout, that's why you hear so many people, even locals themselves, talking about this is exactly why they're moving out of Colorado, bro, because it's a whole shithole, to say the very least. And I'm like, damn. So I basically ran out of a shithole just to end up in a whole nother shithole. Only thing is, it's an overly priced shithole. Where no matter what I do, I'm going to get judged regardless of the fact. Whether it's because they think I'm a hobo because, like I said, I'm wearing clothes equivalent to that of a construction worker, or because, you know, or because I'm just a black man rocking a beard, just like the dude in the at the Kroger, at the King Supers, was rocking a beard. So the day after that happened, right, which proves my point, how these motherfuckers don't even get along with themselves, there was a hostage incident, a whole active shooter incident in some apartments in garbage ass Broomfield, where as early as, it wasn't even 7 o'clock in the morning yet, folks are basically getting ready to start their day, and next thing they know, they hearing all kinds of gunshots ring out. And it was a whole hostage situation where it was a dude shooting all over the place, barely missing folks, because there was some people there talking about that they felt bullets whizzing right over their head. I'm like, damn, bro, just a few inches away from death, wherever she was. So it was this dude with this automatic, probably an M4 or something like that, shooting all over the place and threatening to kill the lady that was in, and it was basically a domestic violence case, and he did indeed end up shooting her and killing her. And you know, the SWAT team, Broomfield SWAT department or whatnot, Broomfield SWAT team ended up shooting him. He was the one who ended up surviving. He ended up surviving. She ended up dying. And I looked at that after having experienced that bullshit, which for the life of me, it's not so much that I was looking for her approval and whatnot that I think is what bothers me. I think what bothers me, again, it was the hypocrisy in it. This bitch was basically wearing a jogging suit that looked like it ain't been washed in 2 months, to say the least. And that's what I meant when I said she looked like she had been on the blade. With a streak, mind you, yeah, that's another thing that I noticed. She had that streak of goop in her hair. You know that, how they be coloring her hair? So that tells you right there, a whole feminist a whole man hater anyway, because they all do that shit. That's their colors. That's how they identify them. I mean, that's how you identify them. Be rocking the whole hair dye and be up here out here on some man hating shit. That's what they got out here. I can't speak for the rest of the country or where else, but I can after 7 years in Colorado, I can damn sure call that out. And then that goofy shit happened. And here you are, having been told what happened to other people who got on a plane, got on the bus, and got the fuck out of Colorado. Here you are, or here I am, going through what I've gone through since I've been out here in kooky ass Colorado. With these kooky ass, goofy ass locals who, like I said, don't even get along with themselves. That's what I'm saying, bro. This place would be so much better. It would be such a wonderful place if it just wasn't for the fact, if it weren't for the locals, bro, Colorado would be practically heaven on earth, or the closest thing. I wouldn't even say heaven on earth, nah, because you got the police force. My God, shit, that's something you might as well. That's another thing you might as well just throw in the trash. Which again proves my point, bro. I'm looking at a bunch of goofies who then turn a place as beautiful as Colorado into a whole war zone. I mean, well, not even a war, like a whole city dump, because Memphis is a war zone. But I'll say this: Denver's getting ready to turn into a war zone. It's right now. It's just a city dump. And you got all this libtardism. And that's another thing for the life of me I couldn't understand. You got all this liberalism going on where out here it's okay. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be a Wiccan. It's okay to be a devil worshiper. But if you look like me, if you're of my persuasion, it's not okay to rock basically a beard. It's not okay to basically wear the clothes of a construction worker, even with your ass not stinking like theirs do. So yeah, I got a huge problem with that. I have a huge fucking problem with that. And again, it goes back to the quote unquote societal norms and how this very same and how it will have you running all over the place trying to figure out what the societal norms of said society are. Now on to this dude, right? So I just wanted to give my little 53 minutes of ranting about what happened with me, and now I'm gonna turn my attention to this cat who is basically a 35-year-old neckbeard incel who, like I said, despite his best efforts, was probably just basically non-select. And unlike incels of the past who basically crash out, who basically lash out, crash out, get some, like this dickhead in Broomfield did basically, and just become a whole terrorist and just start shooting up the place on some Columbine shit. He seemed pretty accepting of his situation, of his fate. Got to forget to pause. There's some cyclists running around. So his he basically described his situation, as early as middle school. And, I wouldn't even say that he was ranting. Like, I just did about the fact that he didn't have a girlfriend. He was just describing his story, his situation. And, like I said, despite his best efforts, nothing ever seemed to cut the mustard. Now, there were definitely some things that I definitely did not approve of. Like, I'm like, bruh, never mind your hairstyle. I couldn't care less about that. But then again, I'm not a woman, so, it ain't like I'm trying to judge the nigga. But when he went around, he basically said there was some things that stood out that was like, yeah, bro, that's called defeated. That's called giving up. And the fact that, I don't know where he was from, bro, but the fact that he was actually able to maintain a job after telling me what he said to me again, because this nigga was talking about he spent months not brushing his teeth and not washing his ass. Okay, yeah, there's a problem. That's gonna be a problem. And where you stand with members of the opposite sex should not dictate whether or not you decide to keep your hygiene up. That should be a given. Like, if fate has decided for me to be hated of every single member of the opposite sex, it's not going to have an effect on the fact that every single morning I get up and brush my teeth and wash my ass. Not to mention, the dude was indeed a fat fuck. I'm just going to call it. And I'm not saying that facetiously. I'm really just saying that loosely. And apparently he's always had a weight problem. But he talked about how, around, his senior year that, he made effort and he actually lost quite a bit of weight. I want to say he said he lost about anywhere from, I don't remember exactly, it was like anywhere from 50 to 100 pounds. And he saw some gradual level of success with members of the opposite sex, but it was almost like some close but no cigar type shit, pretty much. And then he talked about how he raised $8,000 for him and his buddies to go out to Chicago just for the sole purpose of basically running this into some chicks who eventually just ended up fucking around on some other niggas, right? So I'm like, bro, I don't know what the hell you did that for. I'm like, for all that money. And there was some dude, I was on his YouTube channel who was basically saying, for all that money, bro, you could have went to Thailand or the Philippines. I said, did your hair a little better? That, cause them Asian women, how Asians, how crazy Asians are for Esau. You know how for the palm-colored man, they wouldn't have gave nan fucks. And that's another thing, bro. When it comes to Asian women, I can't tell you how many toothless, pot-bellied, neck-bearded, palm-colored men I've seen with Asian women. Now, is that my way of bitching and complaining that, because I can't get no? I'm just saying he could have gotten some women, but his main problem was he was dealing with American women. And see, that is a loop, and I don't care what part of this country you in. We just not gonna figure that out. We never will meet up to the standards, and that's where, and that's ultimately the point between me talking about what I just recently experienced and have been experiencing since I've been out here and have been witnessing since I've been out here, and this dude's experience, growing up in America, growing up dealing with girls in school, dealing with girls in college, the whole nine. We're not going to figure this out. It's not meant to be figured out. Because if it's one thing that I learned before I came out here, is that what that was that you don't play unwinnable games. Because a rigged game is designed to do what it's rigged to do, is to cause you to lose. It's designed for you to lose. And one thing that Memphis has done, what little else it has or hasn't done, is it's given me insight as far as whether or not I'm dealing with a situation that is beyond hope, beyond corrigibility, beyond fixing, beyond solving. And that's how, and it's my experiences in this town that have allowed me to, it's my experiences in that town, my former city of Memphis, that have enabled me to look at this town and say that it's beyond hope. It's beyond hope. And whatever happens between the locals, garbage ass, DPD, Denver Pedophile Department, Aurora Pedophile Department, and this new upcoming threat that not only is here but is around other sanctuary cities across this country, El Tren de Aragua. My involvement in it, or the lack thereof, well, it won't prove diddly squat. My best bet is to stay out of it and to stay away from them. Because I think another thing that, like I said, that aggravated me the most is, since I stopped going to this gym, I basically have been, almost on some recluse shit. But I'm finally starting to see the peace that comes with not chasing women, not engaging with women, not working with women, not dealing with a society that basically caters to their nature and all the madness that follows suit with all of that. And like I said, I got my weights. Basically all my needs are met. Now, my wants aren't met because men do have this biological urge to get laid. And I dare even say fall in love. But we see we recognize a society that goes out of its way to take advantage of that. And puts us through all these gaslighting standards to quote unquote achieve it. But we see the writing on the wall. We see the banana in the tailpipe for what it is. So when somebody from the outside does something like that, it's gonna basically disrupt my peace. I'm gonna have a huge problem with that, and I don't know if it's because I've been lifting. Because another thing I've noticed is that since I've been pumping heavier iron, and I'll be the first one to say that I'm not taking no kind of steroids or nothing, but I'm starting to notice changes again amongst toxic people and amongst the environment. Now that I'm getting bigger, because usually they talk about body game is supposed to be the way to attract members of the opposite sex. Not necessarily. Not when everybody's toxic as fuck. It don't. But you will inspire envy, because I have been getting looks, but it hasn't been looks of praise or looks of Even lust, it's just been looks of derision. Like, these niggas are straight jealous, bro. Because now that I'm getting chiseled up, and, I know, a max of 275 ain't nothing to scream on. Like that. Like, some of y'all are like, man, this niggas in the ninth grade can bench press that much. I know. But the niggas here in the ninth grade can't bench 275. We gonna find out. It's gonna be a very small percentage of the world's men who can bench press 275. Because I already found it's a very small percentage of the world's men who can bench press 315. And I'm on the verge of bench pressing 315 and beyond that. And you think my situation? Because like I said, these people have already shown me who they are. So I say that to say, towards this guy, depending on where he lives, and Lord, and if this dude just happens to be from Colorado, I'll be like, oh no, bro, I don't care what you do, you can lose the weight, and that's fine. You should lose the weight. You should be more clean cut and clean, and definitely clean, period. Don't be going to work smelling like ass and not having brushed your teeth for so long, you fuck around and catch periodontitis. The hell? But then again, this is an incel. And incels on a whole different frequency than us MGTOW. But we get looped in as if we're incels, and I'm here to call out the bullshit. That no, you just dealing with a gaslighting society that just sees you as the weirdo because you're not engaging in what, as a black man or whatever race, you're supposed to be doing, and that's why you're getting socially ousted. And I'm here to tell you that that's complete bullshit. That is complete bullshit. And the fact that I've caught these very same black men doing shit that black men ain't supposed to be doing, because that's just not our culture. Like not washing your ass. All the stinking booty ass niggas that I done ran into, whose ass I could smell from half a meter away, basically half a mile away. Nigga, you ain't supposed to be doing that. And that's what I mean when I say that your standards, your gaslighting standards, you not even fulfilling your damn self. Bruh. You not even fulfilling your gaslighting standards, your damn self. To be sitting up here talking to me, to be sitting up here, why don't, and for the life of me, I just can't seem to understand, why don't you just tell us what the real issue is? Instead of being a chicken shit, projecting, gaslighting motherfucker, acting like everybody in town is wearing some Ralph Lauren, Louis Vuitton, lamb suits and all that, knowing damn well, no, you ain't. But when I do something that's remotely similar to that of, like I said, the construction worker, it's a problem. Why don't you just come out and say it's my existence that's a problem? Because it ain't them other toothless ass, it ain't none of these other toothless ass niggas. Them niggas ain't a problem, but I am. Why don't you just say you singling me out because I'm black? And I mean nothing more, nothing less. Because this niggas out here who ain't even close to smelling as clean as you. They ain't had a bath in 3 months, and I ain't fucking with them. And that's what I'm saying about this dude. This dude has just been given, and that's the thing, man. He was just like me coming up. He was just given a bad hand. He was just dealt a bad hand and was gaslit into saying, well, man, if you just do this and if you just do that, maybe the women wouldn't, maybe the girls, to talk back to his junior high school years, maybe they wouldn't react to you as viscerally as they do. To which I'm here to say that's bullshit. Because you can take it back to my situation when I was in junior high. Because I submit to you that I've never had a girlfriend either. Well, actually, have I had a girlfriend before? Technically, yes. But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. I never really wanted one, to be honest. And you know why? For the very same reason that most men, or most women anyway, complain about why men don't want to get in relationships, quote unquote. Why they claim that shit. The so-called fear of commitment. I genuinely didn't care at the time. You could almost say I was forced into a quote-unquote relationship and given the lowest common denominator of females to do so. Now, back when I was, back in my heyday as a 7th grader, because I remember one time, just before I passed on to the 8th grade, there was this chick at church. There was this girl at church who just happened to be my cousin's friend. We were, I guess she was my girlfriend. And, I agreed to the shit. Not that I really cared, because, like, I'm 13 years old. I'm like, and yeah, I had the horny, I had the heebie-jeebies going on too. Like the Mexican jumping me in my pants going on too. Shit, I was basically ready to hump on anything too, but how much access of that did I have to that? Where I was just gonna be out here busting cheeks like that. So, my experiences with the American female, I may add, clearly have been just as odd, if not odder and weirder than anyone else's out here. And the only thing that I regret of that shit is that I should have been way more savage. Because that seems to be the only thing that this American woman specifically understands. Because we had to come to realize that, over the years, that the worse you treat women, the better off they seem to treat you. Because you try being quote unquote polite with a savage. See where that gets you, male or female. Because I was actually going to talk about my quote unquote girlfriend experiences, or the lack of, or love life. Because the girls that I guess I was, because there was this one girl, and I didn't speak up about it, because most of the time you just didn't want the chaos, you didn't want the drama, so you just went along with it. And guess what? You think I was jumping for joy that I quote unquote had a girlfriend, or I was dating this girl? No, it was almost as if we wasn't doing shit, and I didn't do shit. I literally, like, there was 2 cases, like, in the 7th grade, or in the time that I was going on to the 8th grade, that I was basically given the quote-unquote hookup. And I think I talked to y'all about that, how this one girl, like one of the popular chicks, was going to call herself hooking me up with her oogly-ass friend. And I'm like, bitch, you know damn well you wrong for that shit. You know damn well you wrong. First off, you disrespecting me. Second off, you disrespecting her. And that's supposed to be your friend? Really? And I remember her telling me that, you ain't really doing, because I was like, because I don't care. I shook my head. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. We boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, I didn't care. I probably, now that I think about it, I probably called her once, and hey, don't even ask if we had sex. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. God in heaven know. And man, when you realize just how females really are, that whole fiasco was probably one to hook their friends up. Just so that they can say they have a nigga. Two, just so that they can have something to bitch, moan, and create drama about. And I just didn't engage. Because let's face it, bro, there was nothing in there that was sexy enough for me to even pursue like that. There was probably one girl that I probably would genuinely have clapped her cheeks. And guess what she said? Because I stepped to her too. And she wasn't with that. Ironically enough, she was one of the few black girls. And that's what I'm saying, bro. I hate that shit too, bro. And that's who we usually run into. She seemed like a cool chick who would have given me a chance, but unfortunately, she said she had a boyfriend, and I could respect that, because I remember in the 8th grade, I kind of developed this obsession with finding the girlfriend, because now it was the dudes who was pressuring me to getting a girl, and I don't want to be perceived as some weirdo who was on some funny type shit, right? So I called myself trying to get out here, looking for me a girlfriend. You see how the gaslight begins? You see how the obsession begins? You get pressured into this shit. You get peer pressured into this shit. Whereas before, you wasn't studying that shit. You got exams, you got things to worry about, bro. And I prioritized my education like they do in damn South Korea. And I'm not saying I had the smarts of a South Korean teenager, but I prioritized my education because, like I said, that was the year I was trying to get into honor society. And I'm like, y'all ain't fucking with me like that, no way. So I'm like, okay, and that's, 8th grade was dealing with them strags, right? Is basically what set the tone for the rest of my life, as far as not giving two fucks about what women have to say and what they think about, unless they not on the bullshit, for one thing, and unless they giving you the time of the day. So in my case, there was just instances where it was always on some close but no cigar type shit. And I'll submit that a lot of times where it was close but no cigar, it was because I was the one who sabotaged that shit. I was the one who was given the opportunity to get with this girl or that girl, years after the fact. Oh, excuse me. Years after the fact. I remember I was in the 9th grade, right? And one of my dudes, was telling me about this senior. Now at the time I was 15. So, and I think I talked to y'all about this in way in my my older videos, about there was this senior who was from Cali, right? And she was kind of fine, and she was outshining all them garbage ass Memphis hoes, bro. Outshining all of them. And knowing them, they was probably not shit. I already know, jealous than a motherfucker. And guess what, bro? She chose me. She chose me. Now, if you are a 15-year-old freshman in some ghetto-ass high school, being around Memphis folk, because little did I know even at the time that she was from Cali. So, like I said, the whole Memphis mentality is what fucked my mind up. Because I was dealing with a female who was operating on a whole nother time. Not that bullshit Memphis ratchetness they got going on, which ain't been doing no kind of justice lately, right? With all of them killing themselves. That's what I'm saying, bro. You wasting your time trying to get along with the Memphian, bro. They don't even get along with themselves. It ain't no right or wrong. And when I look at Coloradan society, I'm seeing the same exact goddamn thing. No right, no up, down, left, right or wrong. Just pure chaos. Just pure entropy, if you will. Pure entropy. So think about it now. I'm 15 years old. I'm a freshman. Fresh meat. First semester of high school. And I got some pretty young thing, 2 years older than me, getting ready to go to college. Senior. High school senior. Choosing up on a brother. I said, bro, miss me with that. I'm not entertaining that foolishness. What do you think I mean? Nigga, come on now, bro. Surely you don't think I'm that student, but he swore up and down. He was like, man, I'm telling you, bro, man, she like you, bro. She like you, bro. I'm like, bro, stop flogging, bro. You lying. You bullshitting. Come on, bro. I was born in the day. Just because I was born in the day don't mean I was born yesterday, bro. Come on now. I might be a square ass nigga. I ain't that damn square, bro. Come on, bro. Stop flogging. Straight up and down bullshitting. But lo and behold, she did. And hey, as a college freshman, my college freshman year, ironically enough, first semester. Now, this is what I couldn't figure out, why she would wait such a time after the fact, after high school, to basically choose up on a nigga. And guess what? Came out the wood. Now, this is a black woman, so black women are a little bit more aggressive when it comes to, and I understand that because I've been dealing with Negroes my whole life. So if a black woman does feel you, she will come out and say, nigga, I basically want to fuck. And it's not, in this case, even with me being so inexperienced with women at that point, you know, being an 18, 19-year-old wet behind the ears and all that, it's not so much that I didn't believe her, right? I was just looking at the fact that even though I'm 18 years old, even though I'm a college student, I'm basically a starving student, I couldn't do nothing for this chick. I couldn't do, that's what I was looking at, the monetary thing. So again, that whole thing about a nigga need to have some money, gaslight. That in and of itself is gaslight, and that's not to suggest that you should be a broke ass nigga, but don't be surprised if you out here getting your money and your paper right, and whatever female you dealing with cheats on you over some broke ass nigga out in the street who basically ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. So having said all that, and you know, I can go into, I've already talked to y'all about all the choosing signals that I was getting from, you know, for the most part in Memphis, black women while I was going through what I was going through. I was in the fight. And how I low-key be regretting that shit, because a lot of those black women, if not all of them, had some butt. And I'm here to tell you, I sabotaged that. Because something in me was looking like something ain't right. Something just ain't right. And we are talking about a city, right, that damn near leads the nation in STDs, namely HIV. Our big brother AC, Accountable Commentary, just talked about, we now know about Keisha's herp ratings, her how the high percentage that Keisha's, the high percentage of the herp and the houses in Virginia, the HIV, the high five, the HIV, what do you want to call it, that Keisha is carrying. It wasn't even that it was that too. It was that too. But what it really was, bro, is that I was looking at the fact that I just couldn't figure out what was behind door number one, door number two. What kind of nigga she got out on the blade? What kind of nigga she got in the pen that's gonna come see my ass after I bust her cheeks? After I bust my load all over her face, titties, and her butt cheeks. And that to me was more of a priority, the priority to survive. That was more of a priority than basically busting that nut. See, that's how I know I was way wiser. I was eons wise beyond my years. So again, that's my personal experiences as far as why I've never had a girlfriend. And it wasn't from the lack of opportunities. It was, for me, it was from the lack of trying, the lack of giving a damn. Not to mention, you was up here dealing with some garbage ass Memphis females, who was at the end of the day was really shit. That wasn't, bro. You ain't getting no brownie points having a GF in your life, and I hope this dude understands that. Because we grown ass men, we should know at this point, based off of the horror stories that, you know, our fellow male relatives have, like cousins in our family, brothers in our family, who have, quote unquote, had a chance to get the girl and do the girlfriend thing and have gone through all kinds of bullshit off of that. Dealing with some crazy ass bitch out here and trying to to be up here gaslighting us, talking about that we're less of men because we never had a girlfriend. Because we got out here, me personally, got out here and found somebody who I wanted to be my girlfriend. Found at least 2 women in a crazy ass part of the world like Memphis, of all places, who I wanted to be my girlfriend, and one turned out to be a whole hoe and one turned out to be a whole dyke. Come on, bro. And we're supposed to fall on our sword because we failed to seal the deal with females who weren't even worthy of us? Because really, on the real, bro, we really didn't have a choice as far as whether or not. It's not like most of us were in a situation where we were just stuck in boarding school, stuck in an all-boys school, No, most of us went to public school and did the co-ed. Our experiences there are the very reason why not only we never had a girlfriend or we got married, why some of us, MGTOW and incels both, are kind of good on the whole girlfriend, wife, fuck, but all that shit, bro. Because we've gotten to witness what's out there. And what's out there ain't nothing to scream on. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at my former city. Take a look at this city. Look at the facts, look at the stats. You got all kinds of gay dudes and lesbos in this town. And hell, you really got them in my town too. In my former town. And niggas blowing each other's brains out. Up here trying to shame, blame, and explain you into your lack of success with members of the opposite sex in society, period. And we talking about a bunch of motherfuckers, like I said, when they get around themselves, are out here blowing their asses off. We don't see no incentive trying to get along with these motherfuckers. There is no getting along with them. So the only thing that I would recommend for this dude is, again, the cleanliness thing, bro. You gotta wash it. You gotta brush your teeth. You gotta wash your ass. That's a given. And like I said, you should run and jog and eat better, and don't eat pizza and make pizza 80% of your diet, and lift heavy weights, so that you can basically turn into, and maybe do something with your hairstyle, so that you can become a whole giga chad. Because I don't have access to Asia like that. And even if I did, most Asian women ain't fucking with me like that. And I'm not saying that out of bitterness, I'm saying that out of truth. It's a fact. I might have some luck in parts of Southeast Asia. I might have some luck in Japan. Am I willing to go to and through and the hoops and loops to fuck around and find out? No, I'm not. I don't even care at this point. But a dude like him, just off the strength of him being already a Brad, he could turn himself into a giga chad and get him whatever kind of, I promise you, if he went to Thailand or the Philippines right now, or hell, any part of Asia for that matter, like shit, China, Korea, anywhere he went, he would be giga chad. But, you know, Brad doesn't always deal with Asian women like that. Not all Brads deal with Asian women like that. In fact, it kind of reminds me of, you know, the incel, the classic incel, by the way, who usually probably will resort to violence, like an Elliot Rodger, who was half Asian himself. He didn't deal with Asian women. He couldn't stand them. You know, he looked down on them. But I'm just saying that to say that I don't know if he knew that. But, bro, just by you being a Brad, you've already won. All you got to do is put forth the effort and the work and turn yourself into a giga chad, and don't waste your time in the West. Because what we're just experiencing the downfall of the West, bro. Of a society that goes out of its way to gaslight and who better accentuates this, who better expresses this than the so-called Brads, Chads, and Tyrones in our society, who quote-unquote have won the affections of the Western women and are going through all kinds of bullshit, going through all kinds of child support payments and divorce. Like, and if you don't believe me, hey, look at your boy Judge Mathis. I just thought about this shit. Look at your boy Judge Mathis. Did everything by the book. Did everything he was supposed to do. Look at your boy Tyrese. Look at your boy. Look at your Tyrones. Look at the Pookies and Ray Rays, who quote unquote did win these garbage ass females that we just had to endure. And see them for the trifling Section 8 welfare queens that they are. Look at the niggas who quote-unquote did win these females and what they got them, and the hoops and loops in the hell that they putting them through. And hey, if that makes me a less than a man or a man-child, because I looked at a society that's been fucking me over since day one and been trying to manipulate me since day one, and I've been hip to the bullshit. I just couldn't confirm it. But the older I got, the wiser I got, the more I saw, and it hasn't even changed not one bit. It hasn't gotten sweeter not one bit. And I'm telling you, bro, that right there, that's more than enough to make me, throw my hands up and just walk the other direction. Go the other way. Hence, MGTOW, men going their own way. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you this much. like I said, with the chick who did what she did, like I said, it's not so much that I have a problem with her walking away from me. If anything, she was doing me a favor. If I had it my way, I would have all you bitches get up and walk the other way. And then I get up and walk the opposite way. I want you to go the other way. I want you to do that. Like you got the energy right. I'll give you that much. You got the energy right. Keep that same energy. I'm like, bro, I don't want your acceptance. Because most of y'all are a bunch of meth heads, crackheads, smackheads, all kinds of mental illnesses, all kinds of drugs y'all got going on out here. So who exactly am I looking for as far as their acceptance? I mean, what are we doing? And that's the kind of questions that this dude needs to start asking if he hasn't begun already. Because as horrific as his experiences were, they probably weren't nearly as horrific as mine. And the thing about it was, and what I find so interesting is that, and you know, I heard that black women are just like this, that when you leave them alone, they'll be the ones revving up and turning up, basically. Because when I was out here asking their ass, and I should have never did that shit, bro. But I noticed that when I was kind of asking them, they said no, but they weren't really fucking with me like that. Because, again, at the end of the day, it's about attention. And what was really bothering them was, you know, the year prior, I wasn't giving them that attention. But again, it's nothing short of a hopeless situation that once I finally found an opening, I just walked away from. I just walked away from the city of Memphis as a whole. And ever since I left that garbage ass city, it has gotten eons worse. And you know, I see a city like Denver, and I'm looking at it's like same shit, different hole, basically. Same shit, different hole. A whole hypocrite of a society that seeks to pass judgment on your black ass no matter what you do. Whether you're for it or against it, whether you go along with it or whether you walk away from it. When the solution is to walk away from it, don't even engage in it. At this point, I don't even see the point. Because with my focus on the bag, I'm not waiting on the day that I'm not like, no, that's the mentality, that's the infantilism of the female to assume that at me being damn near 40 years old, I'm hoping for the day that I get out here and find me a girlfriend and fall madly in love and get married. Bitch, please. With any luck, what I low-key on the slick am hoping for probably is some teenage queen who's basically don't mind me throwing some dollars at her, who's basically just some fuck meat. That's where I'm at this point. That's where I'm at. And I guess that makes them mad because a lot of them don't qualify to be fuck meat. Now, you got to have looks on you to be fuck meat. Now, you got to look a certain way to be fuck meat. And you notice that the younger a female is, the less she minds being fuck meat. And another thing I'll tell you about fuck meat, females who are basically fuckable. It's like I mean, and that's another thing I want to. I'm so glad it came to mind. Is it just me, bro? Is it just me, or is it always these short, low SMV having ass females who seem to be the most bitter, who seem to be the most misanthropic, or not misanthropic, misandric, who seem to be the most misandric, who seem to be the most bitter, and who seem to be some of the biggest harpies? Am I the only one who's noticed that? I swear to God, it's always these short, midget-ass females. Because I stand at 5'10", so, you know, I ain't the tallest nigga in the world, but I ain't the shortest nigga either. And I like my height. I'm like, shit, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck about being no 6'3". But everybody swore, because, you know, I had such a fast growth spurt at a young age. Everybody swore, you know, they even nicknamed me, they nicknamed me that 6'3". That was my nickname at my local barbershop. Because they swore I was going to get tall as hell, lanky as hell. And I stopped growing at 5'10". And I'm perfectly fine with that. But is it just me, bro? Because of all the fucked up experiences that I've had with members of the opposite sex, you have to bear in mind some of what that denoted. They was always short, and they was always ugly than a motherfucker. And the only nigga, and that doesn't take away from the fact that some simp ass nigga is going to deal with them, because they will. There's always going to be some simp that's going to deal with some garbage ass female out here. And I just noticed that, bro. That's just me. That's just what I noticed. It's always them short. It's just like, you know, it's almost like the female version of Napoleon complex, where, you know, like, where it's a dude who's short and this nigga is all the way with the shit. Well, I mean, because he a short ass nigga. Because it's probably because it's always gonna be some nigga my height or taller, or much taller, fucking with him. No pulling rank on him, pulling weight on him, pulling rank and weight on him. So these are things that, you know, I never paid much attention to, never mind to, because I really genuinely didn't give a damn about. Because like I said, in those days, my biggest priority were my grades and my video games. Besides that, I couldn't give a flying fuck about females at that time. And then when I finally did get out here and decide and basically chose up, I saw it for the scam that it was. I saw it for the scam that it was. Getting out here calling myself trying to fall in love and do all that dating shit and courting females and shit. I'm like, well, shit, at least I made all my efforts with them instead of some garbage ass female, some Section 8 welfare queen, and fucked around only to fuck around and get caught up in some goofy ass love triangle with Glocktavius. Because like I said, that ain't going so well in the M Town right now. I just saw this shit about there was some doctor who was basically talking about, you know, expressing the horrors of the ER room. You know, between the niggas they pulling up in there, whose bloodied shirts they have to cut off, and the screams of the gunshot victims and the screams and wails of the family members in there after a nigga who got shot the fuck up gave up the ghost. That's the city I walked away from, people. That's the city I walked away from. And here I am in another city, as I've been here for the past 7 years, right? Where they're exhibiting the same patterns. The same patterns of domestic violence. the same patterns of garbage ass niggas in a supposed more affluent part of this city crashing the fuck out, having the SWAT team called on them because they having a whole female hostage. And and I don't know what the optics were that caused all that, but knowing this Colorado female, bruh, I'm not saying what the nigga did was right. I'm like Chris Rock. I'm not gonna sit up here and say what the nigga did was right. But knowing and experiencing the absolute disgusting behavior of this Colorado succubus who rocks LGBT, who rocks feminism, who rocks all the isms, from racism to feminism to Wiccanism, and yes, even Satanism. Rocks all of that shit. I'm not saying what that dude did was right, but damn if I don't understand. Damn if I don't understand. All the times that I've seen out here where some dude deleted his old lady. There was an instance a couple years back where so one dude was out here jogging walking around with his dog, and there was another female, I guess she had her dog, I want to say he did, and their dogs kind of got into a scuffle, and as a result, instead of tying up and saying, excuse me, sorry, my bad, whatever, just apologizing, these two dickheads got into it, and she said something sarcastic, and this nigga pulled out a whole blicky and blew her beak off. Blew the top of her skull off. And I don't even think they really convicted her for him. Like, they convicted him, but they ended up sending him to a crazy house. I'm like, so basically the nigga pleaded insanity. And I'm like, bruh, the amazingness of white privilege, bruh. Because the dude who did it was a white dude, and I think the woman he killed was like a Hispanic woman. I'm like, bruh. But again, nothing short of Colorado and all these crazy ass motherfuckers running who can't agree, who don't know how to conflict resolve any more than the black community does. So having said that, it might be a good while before I get myself a quote-unquote girlfriend. And I'm here to tell you, in the rare event that I do get a female who, for whatever reason, sees whatever it is she sees in me, just like them females, them garbage-ass females, and they was rocking some butt. They was rocking cheeks. They was rocking looks. These were not ugly, because Memphis was shit. For every 9 out of 10. Hoes were ugly as hell. And which to me is crazy because, the South is supposed to be a place when, especially when you think about, Florida, Atlanta, and hell, even parts of Alabama and Mississippi, them hoes is finding a motherfucker. Like in Georgia, Atlanta. Southern hoes are supposed to be, especially Southern booties, that's supposed to be some of the... So how Memphis seemed to fail in that gene pool is beyond me. I don't know if y'all been inbreeding. I don't know what the fuck has been going on. But at this point at my age, bro, all I do want is a teenage queen who understands that not necessarily every single day, but damn just about every other day, we doing the butt naked dance. We doing the hucklebutt. with me understanding females the way they are now, like I finally understand why Rollo Tomasi talks about, not even wasting your time with like MILFs, like females our age, and that's supposed to be a given anyway. So, like I said, the best thing this dude can do is, like we've been doing and been talking about, go overseas, work on yourself, especially again that hygiene and that weight, and get you some baddies. Because if it wasn't for the fact that I was Colorado, man, bro, I would have been in Germany. Niggas have already told me that, I could go to Germany right now and have 7 Frauleins to my left and 7 Frauleins to my right. So that's 14 coochies, 14 mouths, 14 pairs of titties, right? Yeah, that's right. So basically 28 titties and 14 booty holes I'm working with right now. If I set off if I went off to Berlin right here, right now. Were it not on beef that I'm out here basically Colorado, man, with these garbage ass niggas and these garbage ass females, bro. So if it's anything a nigga mad about that. So by that definition, I guess that probably does make me an average sexually frustrated chump. Yeah, and you will be a sexually frustrated chump because you stuck in a cow town. You stuck in a town that's literally stagnant and ain't going nowhere except into the bellows of hell. And like I said, take my former city for example. And damn sure take this city, because this city shit ain't too far behind. It's falling. Whatever depths of hell that Memphis has already plundered into and is going deeper, I promise you, Denver is following right behind. Right behind Memphis. So, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Just so that, I can say we need to stop playing dumbass games, playing gaslighting games, rigged games, manipulative ass games in a manipulative society that goes out of its way to fuck us men over. And like I said, man, get your passport. We need to get our passports. Get our money right. However we got to do it. At this point, I don't care. Because I'm not saying I am that nigga, but if I was that nigga, I would be out here slanging. I'd be out here getting my paper. However I got to get my paper. It's a good thing, and I do find it a good thing that I am a law-abiding citizen and trying to do it legally and trying to do it by the book instead of out here being on some Nino Brown shit, like trying to, or some Bumpy Johnson shit, trying to, or not Bumpy Johnson, but Frank Lucas trying to be a whole dope dealer. But I promise you, if I was another nigga, if I was a nigga in another time, that would have been me. That's what I say when it comes to me and the whole skin trade. If I was another nigga, I would have been in that industry. I would have been in there clapping cheeks. Because I damn sure got the sex drive for it. I ain't really got the personality like that. And I recognize too that I don't live in a planet that even reciprocates that, let alone, that's a whole, I mean, it's on some goofy shit. It just is. So for my sake, it's a good thing that I'm not any of those things, so that, I can break off clean from Babylon and just go somewhere where we're celebrated instead of tolerated. Best case scenario, we're tolerated. Because we're just dealing with we're dealing with the wrath of a society that really doesn't tolerate us men. And it ain't got nothing to do with what type of man you are. Good, bad. In fact, the good, quote unquote, gooder you are, the better you are, the worse you're going to be treated. because that is just not that is not how this American succubus works. In fact, the more evil you are, the more you're celebrated. That's how the American succubus work. This American succubus has shown us, American succubi and harpies have shown us that they are nothing short of Lilith herself. Nothing short of that demonic bitch. Who, by the way, if y'all don't know who Lilith is, that was Adam's first wife. Adam's first wife. Look it up. How can we sit up here and say that the women of Babylon are any different or better, or any less demonic? Because I promise you, bro, the more contact I have with them, the sillier, the more interactions that I have with them at this point, the sillier they get, the goofier they get, and the more demonic they get. And all it does is to me is just a staunch reminder: stay focused on your purpose, and get your passport and get the fuck up out of here before the nukes go off. So if that's it, I'm gonna leave it at that. I know we're damn near 2 hours. Hopefully this thing uploads on YouTube, because I would hate to have to chop this up and make it again. I wouldn't want that. So I'm gonna cut it off, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. I'm out.